Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Great out there. And behind me is the edit for the Arles Part 2 that I've been working on forever. It's getting closer. We will get that out soon. So I want to talk today about something that might seem a little bit kind of mundane and pedestrian, but it's one of those products that could really make your life a lot easier. And that is this Tilta mini V-mount plate. Well, what's the big deal about this? There's all kinds of plates out there. All right, let's get into it then. First, you may notice that compared to the camera, it's pretty small, and that is quite cool. It's got 15 mil rods on the bottom. It's screwed on. You could put a spacer in here if you needed a little more clearance height, or you can alternately use some of these screws here so that you could mount it flat if you needed to do that. So cool. Let's put this on. And just slide it on. All right, so what sets this battery plate apart from the rest? Well, first and foremost, USB-C. So if you've got yourself a nice short cable, you can power up your camera directly on USB-C without any wonky battery adapters hiding up inside the camera body here. And especially in a setup like this, where I've got the battery booster or Fuji file transmitter on here, that makes this even easier because USB-C is really the only way that you can actually externally power this camera easily. And the reason I like this battery booster is because it raises the body height up, it gets the lens mount higher, and when you've got larger lenses like the Arles on here, everything lines up, your accessories fit correctly. It's a world simpler to rig, change lenses, run follow focus, and all the rest of that stuff. But we're not talking about that today. Back to the battery plate. It's got a bunch of holes in it so that if you've got some handy accessories for monitors or follow focuses, so you can mount your stuff up, hook it up. We're all good with that. Great. And on this side, let's spin this around. We've got a D-tap connector, and it's only one, and that's fine by me. Now, you might be saying, but I want 4 or 5 D-tap connectors on here. There are other plates out there. This is not the plate for you. So why should you care about using these OB2 connectors versus D-taps, which is probably on all your different power cables that power all your various accessories? Well, there are a couple of good reasons. And the first is SDI ports. The second is HDMI. And third is that because these are keyed connectors, they can only go in one way. Well, unless you strong arm them in, but let's be realistic. If you bring this connector in, you're going to give a little rotation, that snaps in, and that's it. There's no question that it made the correct connection. The other part about these connectors is that the metal barrels, the cable's wired correctly, is tied to shield, and shield is tied to ground. So your power cables always connect ground first. And that's probably the most important thing here for protecting your SDI ports, is that you can't run a hot voltage into your accessories and fry the SDI ports. And this plate has 2 OB2 connectors, one here and one on the other side. And you can actually get a splitter. So you could run a splitter off of this port, mount it on the back, and have 3 more ports, which means you can power up a whole bunch of different accessories. So I really like these. And now, of course, this I can run into my monitor or transmitter or whatever else I've got set up on here. Well, let's talk about the batteries, because there's an interesting thing I need to bring up here. Now, if you're like me, you've been shooting for a while, you probably have a bunch of different batteries around. I have these V-mounts and these V-mounts and these ones. These are the oldest ones, and if you go to mount this on, these are always a little tricky. But the first thing you're going to notice once you do get it mounted on is how far the battery sticks up. So if you've got anything mounted in this accessory area on top, it better be pretty narrow, like this little mini arm that I've got installed here. Otherwise, it's not going to clear. So if you've got anything with a fat round base, it's going to hit. So that's not good. So if you take this guy off and go to one of these little bit more compact batteries, still the same thing. It sticks above. It just doesn't stick above as obnoxiously. But, it still works. It's a 100-watt battery. You'll get plenty of runtime on that. Now, if you go to one of these super modern, new 150-watt batteries that's smaller and lighter, oh, well, yeah, that's a perfect fit and a perfect match. Now, When I have this set up here, I don't even bother using the connectors that are on the battery because I can power everything up through this. So this brings me to another point. I'm going to take this off because it's a little easier to see this way. There's a little cool LED here. Well, that's nice. It's always good to see that your power is properly connected, your battery's got juice, whatever. But if we take this battery off and I turn my camera on, oh, wait a second, this battery is now on. So what does that mean? Well, that means if you leave this plate sitting here connected, say overnight, because you got batteries on charge or whatever, it's gonna suck down the power of the camera. Yeah, that's just a really, really dumb design flaw. I mean, I can't imagine anyone trying to charge their battery through the battery plate. I mean, look, people do things, right? But not normally, you're going to take your battery off and you're going to charge it however you normally charge it, even if that's using the USB-C on the battery, because some of them do that now, or a regular battery charger. But I cannot think of a reason why I would try and charge a battery on the plate through the USB-C, and that guy is on. So as much as it seems on paper that it's a great idea that power can flow either way through this USB-C connection, in practice, it's a quick way to have your camera batteries get drained down because, you know, this could also theoretically power any other low voltage accessories you might have, like a wireless transmitter or a monitor or wireless audio receiver or something. So it could actually wind up pulling camera batteries down pretty quick. And if you happen to have just a single battery setup, you know, you don't have the power booster like I've got, that battery could be dead really, really quick. And that's kind of like a unpleasant surprise. So that to me is the only really big negative about an otherwise extremely good product. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's got two DTAP connectors on here. If one of these connectors or even both of them went away for OB2s, I'd be thrilled because then when I've got a more complicated setup, I wouldn't have to use the power splitter on the back here. There you have it. This is a really great product from Tilta. They are very reasonably priced. They've gone on sale once or twice in the last 6 months, but if you're seeing this, while tariffs are in place, who knows what the price is going to be. They've gone for $89 or $99 regularly. Now, who knows? Anyway, it's great to see you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The RLS thing, part 2, is coming. The HMI light thing. The light got booked on another job, so I punted on doing that video for at least a couple more weeks. That's life. The light may get one last gig before it gets its conversion. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon.